Now, the timing and even the title, first of all, interim deputy chief executive, for how long do you think you'll be in the role, and why did you decide to take it up now?
Well, I'm not sure how long it's going to last, but I do know there was a great need lately to try and haul the game back into some sense of shape that would make the stakeholders feel good about football again. So it's all very well speaking about it as I have done over the last 12 months. I just felt that time was right now to go in and do something when offered, on the basis that two very good people have gone in before me in the last couple of weeks, and followed and joined by two great independent board members in Catherine and Liz, and I could see things getting better very quickly. And also, I felt that the assistance that appears to be coming from UEFA, from the banks, and from government, of course, that seems to be going well enough to suggest that we'll have more than just survival on the agenda for the FAI from this point on, that we can actually get back to being what we're meant to be, and that's serve football in every department as best we can.
Well, Niall, you did say that you didn't want to be CEO and you would step back. So okay, you're not CEO, Gary Owens is the CEO, but why the change?
Because there's a lot of restructuring to do that somebody who has restructured businesses in the past would be much better at than I. That somebody has got strategies to put in at administrative level, and I felt that my best service to the FAI would be done through football and stuff surrounding football, not restructuring businesses that were in big trouble. You must remember how bad, of course, the business is. So there's a huge job to haul it back into shape. From an administrative point of view, I just wanted to get on with helping the football side, and that's where it's panned out. So Gary Owens has restructured businesses from time to time. He's a fantastic track record. Roy Barrett and the independent directors will be great for the sitting board now to bring things to new levels, and I can get on and start to rebuild relationships through football that are sadly lacking now, as you know. And it was better for me not to have that responsibility of something that I'd never done before, and that's the restructure.
But the FAI immediately needs a cash injection of at least 18 million euros just to pay the wages. Why should anyone give the FAI money, considering what's happened to money in the past?
That's a very good question, and I think what we have to do is restore trust and credibility to show the Exchequer in the first instance here that coming in and saving the game is correct, because the Exchequer's money has to be seen to be going to the right places and doing the right things. We hope that this new look FAI will convince government that that's the correct thing to do. We hope that UEFA believe that as well, and we'll build those relationships and make them even stronger. And of course, there's legacy problems, legacy issues, and the game is in big trouble. Let's not forget that. But I think if we can bring skill sets and an FAI that works great from the inside out, and what I mean by that is that if we can get it right inside the building at Abbottstown, and that people going into work each day there believe in what they're doing, are expanding their roles, are creating exactly what football is meant to do for people in all areas of Irish football, be it grassroots, be it the amateur players, be it the player pathways for those at the higher level, and the elite game itself, League of Ireland. If we can pull it all together and show the value of football, I think we need to regain trust, credibility, and show what it means and what it can achieve if done correctly, and then maybe government will support us more. But I take your point, it's not simple.
The League of Ireland you mentioned there, and that's one of the big issues for your brief, as I understand it. But you haven't played League of Ireland, you haven't been associated with any particular League of Ireland club. I mean, what can you do for the League of Ireland?
Well, personally, I'm here to try and be something friendlier to the League of Ireland. I've said many times over the last 12 months that if we're to do anything proper about football in this country, we have to start at the elite game, and that is the League of Ireland. It needs to be treated better by the association. How that plays out now, obviously we're dependent on financial stakeholders to assist at this point, but I think where it can go is we can get a strongly unified League of Ireland, that they come together as one and make demands of the FAI. Then we should be there to help them and assist them. We'll try and bring best practices in. Obviously we'll try and help financially too. Let's see what the art of the possible is there. But it's good that in the last year the League of Ireland has started to constitute itself. They are beginning to speak as one, because they had no voice voice at all till probably 7-8 months ago, when they realised they could stand up and be counted. So
what's your view of the All Ireland League proposals?
If that's where the hello, how are you doing? My view of the All Ireland proposal is, if that's what the League of Ireland clubs want, when they come together as one, if they need assistance in bringing that through with the with the IFA and the clubs up in the north, then we're here to help that. It really is them to stand up and take responsibility for themselves now, with help from us. I don't think we can go in and start ordering the FAI about like they used. The FAI should order the League of Ireland about like they used to. I think that day has changed. We're here to assist.
You had a group, the visionary group you called it, that was at the Stakeholders Forum last May. So yourself and now Roy Barrett, who's the independent chair, and Gary Owens, who's the new CEO, are all from that group. Mm-hmm. Some might say that none of you have a mandate, none of you have got the voice of the grassroots of Irish football, none of you have come through any councils or any elections.
Yeah, which we think is actually a plus at this time. If we're going back to regain trust and credibility, we'd like to think that we'll come in with fresh ideas, fresh approach, and we recognise that there are great people with great heart in the game at all stations, but we obviously have a lot of work to do to make sure that the trust and credibility comes from outside that. So look, you could have easily picked people from within that sort of group of stakeholders and the various platforms that are in place in Irish football, and work from them again. But I think where the last 12 months has gone, the narrative publicly has shown a complete lack of trust, and something new had to come in, and we're glad to provide that. But that's not to say that we don't recognise the goodness that's out there, both in terms of volunteer level, grassroots level, etc., etc. So we're very much aware that people will look at the three of us and say, what are they doing? But we hope, by virtue of the assistance that we think we'll get from the stakeholders, we hope that the way that we'll appease government for the future to maybe get even further funding as the future goes on, and that the game itself will have trust that things are being done properly at the top, that counteracts anybody's worries that the three of us are on some kind of mission to be just a gang like the old gang. I think the great thing about this group, when it came together, funny enough, we were in here speaking to Marion Finucane, God be good to her, when I got texts from Gary Owens, for instance, saying, immediately after the show, I'd love to help. And so this isn't a bunch of pals from the old days coming together. This is just people who got together for the right reasons, who wanted to do this for a labour of love. And I think people will respect that and will treat that as probably better for the FAI right now than going into the old group.
That's my final point, Niall. Do you think that your appointment now, along with Gary and Roy Barrett, can convince government and the other stakeholders, the banks, UEFA, to assist the FAI financially in the short term?
Yeah, well, I hope so. We'll find out a little bit more on that in the coming weeks, I think. I'm confident that it'll be enough to give us a good stepping stone to get right back into action and do what we can. In the short to mid-term, can we, prove that we're worth more? Can we get better investment? Can we attract the right type of sponsors? Can they regain the trust that's needed here? But I'll go back to my biggest point in all this. We're at nothing if we don't get it right with our own workforce, with our own servants who come in every day, who've lacked leadership and who have felt downtrodden at times. They're going to be our greatest advert of what football in this country can do, be it on the RDO level, that the coaches go out to schools, clubs, etc., be it on the elite coaches, the international managers. We have to show them that they're part of a vibrant association that can really go forward. We have to lead them and let them do the work. We can't just talk about it. So that's kind of why we're here. And if we do that, I think then all the other things will fall into place and government will see what we're capable of. It's going to be an ongoing process. I mightn't be here for all of it. Gary Owens mightn't be here for all of it. But one thing I do know, we will leave a structure. We hope that any legacy that we do leave will be signed off by the board, and whoever is in this position 6, 12, 18 months time, that they will put great things into play, and the FAI and the people within the FAI will be leading from the front.